All right, you guys, we're back and we're live. Welcome back to our daily live feed. As you are logging on, if you'd like to come work with me, suitsandposing.com is where you have to go. We do hair, makeup, suits and posing, all the fun stuff when it comes to competing. And we are over live on YouTube as well as Facebook if you are logging on Instagram. When you go over to YouTube or Facebook, you see the screen share. So it is a better experience over there. If you're here on Instagram, you can just sit and watch and listen to me talk. That's cool too. But there will be pictures and everything over on YouTube and Facebook. Yes, the Cutie Boutique has dropped. If you are on YouTube and Facebook right now, then you see our QR code here for the Cutie Boutique right there. So, some lovely ladies competing in Tahoe. Yes, awesome. So, if you need anything from us, our suits, our makeup, our posing, anything, you can get it right here on the Cutie Boutique. It is brand new. We just launched it today. It is also linked in the description box on YouTube, so you can get it there as well. So check that out. If you need anything, we've got a new suit lineup, everything that you could need. Just making it easier for you guys. We have always done just consultations and things like that in the past, which we still do, but now you can order first. You can go through and click through on the website. Makes it a lot easier for you. And then that way we get everything rolling for you right off the bat. So right in time for your cardio. Nice. So we always give it a few minutes for people to get logged on. We give it about 3 minutes before I roll into our topic for the evening, which is going to be previewing the Tahoe show as well as the TRU show in the UK, I believe, this weekend. So there's 2 shows going on this coming weekend. So we're going to talk about those. We did our live wrap up of Tampa last night. So that's up. I also did an interview with Jody Yunker while I was there in Tampa, and that went up live today as well. So if you didn't see that, it's here on our YouTube channel. And again, if you're over on Instagram, you can click on our bio link and you can get to our YouTube channel that way. You can also just search for Sean's Couture Cuties on YouTube and you'll find us there. So that works as well. But yeah, tonight's going to be a little preview of what we got going on this coming weekend. So how's everybody doing today? Today was a very busy day for me. I'm trying to organize my thoughts and stuff as we're moving along here. It was really, really busy. If you noticed, I posted a lot today, which I don't normally post as much as I did. But that's because we launched everything today with the Cutie Boutique and all of that as well. So we got a lot of stuff coming up. So just hold on to your hats. It is only going to get busier. We do have a Sundays with Sean this coming week as well. So if you are local or you are coming into the area, the DC area, you can come to our group class as well. So we are going to jump into tonight, and we're going to start with the TRU, TRU Athlete Pro is what it is. And I think it's being held in the UK, pretty sure. It's a pretty big show as far as they've got like every division here. We're not really going to talk about the wellness pros because I don't know any of them. So I'm just not gonna talk about them because I don't know them. So, but we do have wellness there as well. So if you know any of these wellness girls, go ahead and give them a quick shout out here. As you can see, most of them are from the UK. We got one US in there, Poland, Costa Rica, Lithuania. So we'll have to just pay attention to the results here and see how it goes and see who does qualify for the Olympia here. There's your wellness. Bikini is pretty big for this, especially for Europe. There's a bunch of girls in here, obviously, that we don't know. I just realized there's one here that I didn't pull up, and that's this Christina Brunauer. I forgot to pull her up, so we'll do that right now while we got her on the screen. Let's see. So we'll start with her. She's right at the top of the list. So this girl right here has been getting close top fives. She just placed second to Ivana in Spain. We've talked about her several times, so I'm just going to talk about her again. Talk about what she can do to improve here at the show. She can be a real contender at this show. There's nobody here on this list that is a very dominant competitor. But the biggest issue with her, with Christina here, is her posing. Now, we talked about her several times. Her conditioning is great. Her look is great. She's a pretty girl. She's got really good proportions, really good fullness, all those kinds of things. But she's just posing it wrong. Specifically, her front pose. I'd just like to see her. Honestly, what I'd like to see happen here is I'd like to see her kind of lock that knee out so that her glutes come up a little higher, and don't yank her upper body back quite so far, right? Stand up tall. When you stand up tall, that's going to make that waistline just V in so much better. You're going to get a better glute pop there. And we're not going to see that rib cage jut in like that. You know, we see that pull in the rib cage. If she just stood up straight, that would disappear. So a lot of her issue as far as why she's not doing better than she is her posing. Back pose is a little off too. We won't really go into it too much, but she's got a great physique. And honestly, if she could fix this posing error, she could win this show. She could easily win this show. Because again, she just came in second to Ivana. She might have been able to give Ivana a little bit of a run for her money if she had posed better. So we'll see. She could end up winning this show. She could end up winning this show for sure. Let's take a look. I also pulled up Stein. So Stein Hansen, she is a previous Olympian. I think she went to the Olympia twice. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Did she go to the Olympia last year? Yes. She's been to the Olympia twice. Yep. She's been to the Olympia twice. So the thing with Stein is, again, going back to posing. I always feel like her posing is just really extreme. When she posed at the Olympia, I feel like she tried to not be as extreme at the Olympia, but it wasn't quite right. She's soft also. That didn't help. This is actually a little bit better than what she typically does as far as her poses are concerned. She has a real extreme arch in her lower back, and that actually hurts her. So I think she was trying to do something a little bit different here at the Olympia, but I don't think it really was the right thing. So we see this a lot with the girls that are the European competitors. Their posing is just a little bit off, and they got to get to the US standards. And I think that's the biggest thing that's really been holding her back more than anything else. She does tend to be, towards the top spots whenever she's in a show in Europe. When she comes here to the States, she doesn't do as well. So I could see her definitely being a threat for the win in the UK for sure, but I'm curious to see what her poses look like. Let me see. I'm trying to find a back shot on her. I don't even see a back shot on her from Olympia. Nope, she's moving and everything. Every one of these pictures, she's moving. So we don't even have a back shot. I wonder if she even hit one. That's different. Okay, but anyway, she could be a potential winner here. I'm curious to see. She was just like, her whole physique at the Olympia, I felt like was pretty deflated. She tends to be a little bit thinner anyway. But she'd been competing all year trying to qualify, and she qualified like the last weekend in order to get to the Olympia this past year. So she's had some time off. She could look a lot better coming into this show. Hopefully her posing has improved. If it has, then she's definitely going to be somebody you're going to look at in the top spots here at this show. Next one we have is Nora. Nora did not make it to the Olympia this last year. And she hasn't been doing the best this year. She took second here at the show in April. May, she did worse. She's just coming in really lean. You can see it here in the photos. Posing is a little off. She's a beautiful girl. And actually, a couple of years ago, I mentioned she actually reminded me quite a bit of Janet Leung. Really good shape here, but she's just coming in too lean, and she's having some posing issues. She's built quite a bit like Janet. So if she's coming back and she comes in a little bit fuller, that could definitely be beneficial to her. Let's pull a back shot up. But I mean, you can see from this back shot that she's just too lean. I mean, she's got those diamond drops in her hamstrings. That is way, way, way too lean. And I mean, when you're looking at this, it looks really unbalanced because she doesn't have any legs to match her glutes. I don't know if she just ran off all of her muscle or what happened here, but all we're looking at when we're looking at her back pose is we're seeing some really, really lean glutes, right? So It's been a while. It's been since May, so maybe she put some fullness back on. I think some of this issue is the posing. So if she puts some fullness back on and she's fixing the posing, then she could look a whole lot better here. We'll see. We'll see how it comes together for her. Again, she did make it to the Olympia 2 years ago, so I'm sure she's trying to get back there again. Hopefully she took some feedback and she fixed those things, and she'll come back a little bit better here. Next, we have Octavia. So Octavia has also been to the Olympia at least twice. I don't know if she made it in 2020. No, she made it in 2021, I think. Well, she's not on here. Maybe not. I know she's been to the Olympia at least. Well, she definitely made it to the Olympia this past year. I thought it was 2 years, but I don't see it on the other year here. She tends to be a little bit thicker through the waistline, I believe. Let me pull up one of her posed front shots. Carries a little bit more muscle. Again, at the Olympia this past year, she looks a little washed out here through the waistline. Too lean through the arms. We're seeing all those bicep veins, everything like that. Lower half looks pretty good, but from the waistline up, we're seeing some issues and stuff. Again, competed quite a bit, so that could be part of the reason why. But she does tend to do very well in most shows that she's in. Until this year, it looks like. This was 2022. Yep. I'm looking at her placings here. So she was doing better in 2021 in her placings versus 2022. Let's take a look at her back shot. She has not competed this year yet. Yeah, she looks a little deflated here in the back too. And again, we're looking at, you can see she's unbalanced from top to bottom. She has more mass on her lower half than she does in her upper half. She has really good glutes. She's just not quite posing them right. Let's see if that's no, that's a little bit better. She just wasn't in her pose yet. Okay, that's her in her pose. So her lower half is pretty good. Like I said, from her waistline down, she's pretty good. From her waistline up is where she kind of falls off. But again, she hasn't been on stage since the Olympia, so that could have been enough time for her to put some fullness on, get that upper body popping and everything for her too. And if that's the case, then she could definitely be a threat for the win here. So she's another one to look at. Laura Zib, so she, again, is another one that hasn't been doing great this year. So I don't know what's going on with these European competitors kind of falling off this year in comparison to where they were the year before. She has been to the Olympia in the past. She did not place here. You can really see very clearly she has an unbalanced physique here. She's pretty watery. Waistline, lower half is thicker than her upper half. She needs some more shoulders, that kind of thing. This was also the case in the show that she did right before this. I don't know if she's had enough time to put the size on. This particular show was in July. It was July 30th. So she hasn't had any time to put size on. She might dial it in a little bit better for this show, but I don't really see her making an impact when she didn't place in the Big Man Pro. So in the show before that was also July, and that was the Mr. Big Evolution, and she placed 14th there. So she was an Olympian, but I just think her body to me looks a little tired. So if I was her, I would probably get off stage and try to put some size on. That's probably what I would do. So this maybe this is like her last shot and she's going to do that. I'm not really sure, but we'll see. Still brought her up because she has been in the Olympia in the past. And then, like I said, the last one that I have on the screen is this Christina, which we just talked about. So those are your girls to be paying attention to for the UK. Now, there may be some on here that I have not mentioned, that I don't know, that I've never seen on stage, that are brand new, all those kinds of things. They could be people that I just don't know. Those were just the names that popped out on the list to me. If anybody wants to type in somebody that maybe I missed, I can pull them up. There are some names on here that I recognize. I just don't know if they're going to be a legitimate threat to the title here. So we'll see. It's always an interesting thing when it comes to the European shows, because we don't know a lot of the competitors very well, but we're starting to get to know them a little bit. And as you noticed, I just talked about a handful of them that did very well, 2 years ago, but now they're dropping off, this year because the competition's getting harder. So guys, the competition in Europe a couple of years ago was not very stiff, because it wasn't very big yet. But now they've got their own set of people over there, right? So we just saw it in Tampa. One of the girls from Russia came over here and did very well in Tampa. Placed third, where she wasn't, she was nobody till she came here, kind of thing. So, it used to be where it was easier if you went over to Europe to compete. It's not anymore. The competition's getting tougher. The competition's getting tougher across the board, because it is a worldwide sport. So now we're seeing girls coming in that are fitting the criteria that in a couple of years ago, there weren't girls in those areas that were fitting the criteria. So it was just whoever showed up. That's not the case anymore. These girls are good now. These girls are getting good now. You're not going to get an easy win. You're not going to get an easy win going to a European show. Just is what it is. So that said, we'll pay attention to this. We may see somebody new that comes out and this just kills it. It's definitely a possibility. So let's move over to Tahoe. So Tahoe is going to be an interesting one because we have a bunch of girls on here that have been doing very well this year. The only person on this list that is currently qualified for the Olympia is Alessia Fashin. And we're going to talk about her in a minute, but we're going to go through each name that I pulled up first. So the first name that we have on here is Maya. Maya has been doing very well, placing that top call out, just missing wins, that kind of thing. Her most recent package, she came in a little bit fuller, which I think was the correct call. The look for her was a lot better. I like the red suit much better than the green. Overall glam, everything was much better. The fuller look was much better. She's had a couple of weeks to fine tune some stuff. So we'll see how she comes back at this show. Again, she is a former Olympian as well. So I think it's just a matter of fine tuning this look. She was too lean in a couple of shows this year. This particular look was a lot better. So we'll see how she corrects everything, whatever her feedback was at this particular show coming into this one. But again, the overall look as far as hair, makeup, suit and stuff, 1,000 times better at this show than what we saw like in, I think it was Denver, that kind of thing with the green. The glam and everything here was much better. The fullness and the roundness of the physique, which much better. So let's see how she does coming into this show. See if she tweaks some things, and she could definitely be in those top spots. Next one that I brought up was Jordan, which we just talked about her yesterday because she did place top 5 in Tampa. So now she's coming into this show. So not sure what her feedback was from Tampa, but she, again, like we talked about yesterday, was a lot fuller, a lot rounder, glutes set up a lot higher, shoulders were a lot fuller, all the things. The only thing that I had as far as a critique was concerned for her was a little lower ab distension here. So if that's corrected, also mentioned the makeup was a little bit muddy for me. So if those kinds of things are fixed, she could definitely move up in placings. Again, most of these girls that we're talking about right now for this particular show are landing somewhere between the 2 to 5 zone as far as their placing every show. So one of these girls is going to come in here this weekend and probably win it. Jordan could very well be that one. Other than, like I said, other than the lower ab distension and the makeup, I probably wouldn't change a whole lot coming into this show. Just do the same thing again and see how the chips fall. Just bring your best, right? Next one that I put on here is Alessia. Now, Alessia is Olympia qualified already. This last show that she just did, she placed 11th in Chicago. She was not even in the first call out. We didn't talk about her on the wrap up because she wasn't in the top 5. I don't know why she's still competing right now. This front pose is just not it. I don't know. I don't know what this front pose is. She's way too lean. She's way too lean from the front, way too lean from the back. So I'm not sure why she's continuing to compete right now, other than maybe she's just trying to get more judging feedback because she is qualified. Personally, if I was her, I would be getting off stage and trying to add some more fullness to my physique so that I could be competitive at the Olympia. I don't know. I just we'll see what she looks like coming in. I think she has a new coach that was her coach in Chicago and then is her coach now. So maybe they're just trying another peaking method. Maybe they're trying something to try and fill her out. Maybe they're trying to fix some posing issues, things like that. You know, that would be my only suggestion as far as why she's continuing to compete right now. Trying to get a little bit better, trying to get some extra feedback, things like that. Because if I was her, I'd be off stage trying to put some fullness back on before the Olympia. She's got a few months to do that. Maybe she's going to do that after this show. I don't know. She doesn't need to qualify. So the only reason for her getting on stage right now would have to be to tweak and fine tune and get some feedback. That's the only thing I can think of is that she's trying to do here. So I don't see her winning this show. First call out, probably, yes. But we'll see. We'll see if she makes any kind of improvements from Chicago. And then my suggestion would be, again, just to get off stage and put some fullness back onto the frame. Fullness is definitely necessary. Next one I have is Lizzie Martinez. So Lizzie has placed second in Atlanta. So she was so crazy striated in person. Yeah, I saw the striations even on the videos and things like that, talking about Alessia. So I mean, you got to put some fullness on. You can't keep competing and dry that body out that every single time, right? So anyway, so let's move on to Lizzie. She's been doing decent throughout the year. You know, she's been getting those top fives throughout the year. Came in and placed close second here in Atlanta, I felt like. She was very, very close. There was, I mean, you probably could have flipped the coin a little bit from the front between her and the girl that won it, Savannah. From the back, Savannah's, I think, is where Savannah won it. But she's really, really close to a win here. She's got some fullness, got some roundness, got some nice shape to her. This overall presentation was definitely better. We didn't review this show because we didn't have photos from it. So, you know, we never did a wrap up from it. And now, even now, we only have a few photos, so I don't really want to do them any kind of disservice by only having a handful of photos, that kind of thing. But with that, I definitely think she could be a contender here. I definitely think she's going to be in the top five. I think and could potentially be in the winner's circle at this show. Let's see. And then we have Allie as the last person that I pulled up. So Allie, this was her second pro show. She just won the overall at Junior Nationals. I think she placed top 10 her pro debut. And then this was her second pro show and she placed second. So she's obviously doing very well. They like her look a lot. It's actually really nice to see a brand new pro come out and make some noise. In this particular photo, she looks pretty thin, but so did everybody at this show in the photos. So I don't want to say she was too thin here because everybody looks that way in their photos at this show. So I'm curious to see what she looks like next to everybody else. She's got a great shape. She's got a great overall look. So I'm curious again to see what she looks like next to these other girls. Now, again, she did very, very well here. She has a very polished package. She's kind of like hitting her stride kind of thing. This is what, her fourth show this year. Going into it, because she won the overall at the DC Pro-Am, then she won the overall at Junior Nationals. So yeah, this would be that would be her fourth show. This one was her fourth show, so she's going into her fifth. She's going into her fifth show for the year. So she's had some good time to get her feet kind of settled onto that pro stage. So I'm curious to see what she's gonna look like next to all these other girls. This is really this particular show is really anybody's game. You know, this is the first time where I'm going to say the one girl that's qualified for the Olympia is not your front runner. And that's Alessia. And that's just because she didn't place or look very good at Chicago. Right. So I don't see Alessia winning this. and she's the only one here on this list that's qualified for the Olympia. So I do think we're going to see somebody new come out and qualify. It's just going to be a matter of who. We've got a bunch of people on here I can see that are going to be making the pro debuts. So somebody could come out and make a splash. There is Bikini Masters at this show as well. So we see some of the pro masters that are swapping over. Michelle Hurst is on here, and I know she's doing the Masters Olympia. So, we could see a potential Masters lady come in and potentially take this from somebody. I don't know. This show is really anybody's game. Those are the few that I pulled out that are definitely your standouts and people to be watching, but it could be anybody that comes in and takes this. So go ahead and type into the comments. Tell me your thoughts. Did I overlook somebody? Who do you think is going to take the win at this particular show? Who do you think is going to take the Tahoe show? I'm looking now to see if I missed anybody. I don't think I did, as far as girls that have placed well. But yeah, I think we're going to have somebody new qualify for the Olympia at this particular show. And like I said, the majority of the girls in this show are all the girls that you're seeing in those top fives. They're all the girls that you're seeing getting the second through fifth place spots. So I think it's going to be a really tough battle between all these girls. I think it's going to be a really tough battle. I think it'll be between Allie and Jordan, possibly. Yeah, possibly. I honestly don't know. I'm having a hard time. I think Lizzie Martinez could potentially be in that winner's circle here. Yeah. If I was guessing, I think your top four is going to be Maya, Jordan, Lizzie, and Allie. I think that's going to be your top four. That's my 2 cents. So I think that's going to be I think that's going to be your top four. And yes, of course, it's based on how they come in that day. Anything can happen, as we know. Anything can happen the day of the show, the night before, whatever. Anything can happen. So I think it's just going to be a matter of who does bring their best and who fits the criteria the closest. And that's my top four. I think it's Maya, Jordan, Lizzie, and Allie in the top four. That's my top four. And then we'll see. We'll see, right? Do any of the ones to watch compare well, or are all very different bodies? They're all pretty different. They all have very different looks, and they've all been compared against each other in the past this whole year, So that's why I say I'm like, it's really tough. Like, I don't know who to give a front running position to. It's very rare that if we've got somebody that's qualified for the Olympia, that I'll say that they're not a front runner, but I'm saying that for this particular show. So I don't know. It's going to be a fun one, though. Does anybody know if they have a live stream? Anybody know if they have a live stream for this show? Let me see. It's center podium, so I would assume they do. Let me see. Here. All the pop-ups. Okay, so they've got the events on here. I don't see events. Let me see. There's Tahoe right here. Tickets. Yep, there's a live stream. So there is a live stream. Haven't had the best streaming experiences, but I know. Same. So it's $29.99 for their live stream. for the whole day. Which that's not a bad price. So they do have a live stream. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But that's our pro shows for this weekend. So be paying attention to Europe, to the UK. I don't think they have a live stream, but they do typically put stuff out on Instagram and things like that. So you can be watching on Instagram for that. I think it's One Bro Pro. I think it's One Bro Pro now. One Bro Pro Productions, and then Tahoe. So we will definitely have somebody new qualified for the Olympia, at least one person, if not two, probably two. Yeah, and then we'll be off the races. So to wrap up this evening, tomorrow night we'll be on and we will talk about prep and presentation things. I have something specific I want to talk about tomorrow, kind of relating to what we talked about from Tampa a little bit, but it has to do with stuff that happened in Tampa. So we're going to talk about some presentation stuff there. As I mentioned earlier, Kitty Boutique is up. So this is my QR code right here to the Kitty Boutique. So if you need anything, if you need suits, if you need gear, like not gear like apparel. Apparel, activewear, things like that, makeup, posing. I have a new suit line on there. Like I said, there's an actual new suit line on there. It's a quick ship suit line. So they're on there. Check that out if you need a new suit. All of that stuff's on there. I am home this weekend, but then we have National Fit Show next weekend. So if you want to pose in person, I'm already getting a bunch of requests for that. So I am getting some people in person, for posing next week. You can do that as well if you're going to be there. What else? We have Sundays with Sean this coming weekend. So again, if you want to come to group posing, we have that this coming weekend. We have a bunch of girls that are competing at the Jay Cutler on Saturday. I tried to work it out with my schedule to be able to be there, but I can't. I've got too many clients here at home. And we have Cuties Conquer the Stage cut stuff coming up very, very soon. So yeah, you need to sign up for that, Brandy. Yes, you do. So be paying attention for that. That's coming up very, 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 very soon. We're working hard on that right now. Interviews are out on YouTube as well. So check those out. If you have not subscribed to us, you need to. No, so when you go for in-person stuff at the shows, all you have to do is contact me personally, because once I get there to the show, then we arrange schedules. As we know, show weekends can go crazy. They always do. So since they go crazy, we schedule once we get there in person. But just let me know that you want to be there and you want to go through posing in person. So then that way we can make sure that we make time. Okay. We can call it merch. Yes, it's merch. It's activewear. It is not the bodybuilding gear that some people would think of. It is not. But we do have activewear. We have sweatsuits. We have tanning shirts. All sorts of things. So check it out. More stuff coming as we load it all up. Yes, text me and make sure that we can get you set up for next week. And I think that's everything. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week so far. This week has flown by. I'm like time. Where does time go? I don't know where time goes. With that, I will see you guys back here again tomorrow night, 8:15. We've got prep and presentation things to talk about. So we'll see you here at that time. And I will, yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. All right. Click any of the links that are in the description box. That'll take you anywhere you need to go for my stuff. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. That helps us with the algorithms. And we'll see you back here tomorrow. All right. Good night, you guys.